Happy Tuesday, everyone, and welcome to the Tuesday Night Live show. Hey, can you believe it's already September 5th? Sure hope you guys enjoyed your Labor Day Monday yesterday, your official last holiday of the summer, 2023, according to everyone who talks about that sort of thing. Now let's get down to business to the meteorological fall, which rolled in here on September 1st. And again, that's the weatherman that talks that particular ball game. Yeah, I might be trying to rush things just a bit, but us Claus has got things to do, and well, it's time to get busy preparing and get our claws on. I'm Bob, your host. So yeah, that is what we're going to do now. Let's talk about tonight's featured guest. She is a newbie, and this will be her first season performing as Mrs. Claus. But first, the opening of tonight's show is brought to you by Sat Bob's Professional Technical School for Christmas entertainers. This is Tuesday Night Live. The legend lives on. We want to thank you for joining us for yet another episode. This is episode 32, and we appreciate your support because the more we share, the better we all become. Each of you joining us either live or via replay lifts the spirits of your TNL crew and family. We do appreciate you. My co-host for tonight is a gentleman that I hold near and dear to my heart. I have the honor and privilege of calling him a great friend and mentor. Please put those fingers together for Santa Claus Hall of Fame, class of 2018, Santa Rex Ray.
Ho, 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 ho. Hello, hello, hello. Man, have I got some big shoes to try to fill tonight.
Well, yeah, I guess clowns do wear bigger shoes, don't they?
Yeah, they got them great big wide toes. I'm not sure if I can fill those, but I'm going to try.
They do for sure. And if everyone's wondering where is Spangle, Spangle took off heading to Pennsylvania for the Santa gathering up there. They left out a little bit late yesterday afternoon, got almost to the far northeast corner of Missouri, and his truck broke down. So he was setting on. He pulled off the highway and was able to get off the main road. Sitting there, been trying all day long to get the truck fixed. Had someone come pick him up, and he was headed back. Left his trailer there. Someone else is on the way to get the trailer now. Scott Saraton's on his way to get it. He just went through Tulsa just before the show started. So what a mess. But hey, Spangle's luck. He's when it comes to vehicles, sometimes he don't have the best luck, right?
One of these days, just one of these days, maybe Santa will get himself a brand new truck.
It's what he needs. He's going to be pulling those big trailers and everything that he's got. He's going to have to do that, I think. All right, so she loves it when you say hi. Our producer, Angela Max, so get over there in the comments and let her know how much we appreciate her. You too want to be too cool for school? Check out fancylees.com for all our exclusive TNL swag and more. Yes, they have more. I don't know how many of you saw Rex's post yesterday where he had shared fancylees.com, Fancy Lees Creations. PJs, those were super cool. That's the ones that they had in the movie with Scott Calvin, right?
That's right. They're right out of Santa Claus the movie, or The Santa Claus, actually, with Tim Allen. And they're copies of the satin PJs that Scott Calvin wore up at the North Pole. They're absolutely gorgeous.
Pretty cool. And come in 3 colors, I seen.
Yep, she has them in 3 colors, and right now they're available in medium through 4XL. Order one size larger because they tend to run a little small, she says.
And Santas tend to run a size or 2 large anyway, so always be careful when you order stuff. Okay, so enjoy yourself. Coming on and watching us. Thank you so much for all that. We enjoy the fact that you do. But you can watch us on your big screen, right? I mean, YouTube, the Tuesday Night Live Show, 1225. Get over and watch us on the big screen. It really enhances your experience, or in our case, it could be bad, I guess. Get too much of us. I don't know. You don't want to miss a single show. You just don't. And hey, subscriptions are free all week long. That's right. I said free. Get over and subscribe if you haven't. We appreciate that too. You can also find us on Facebook at the Tuesday Night Live Show. The first half of the Tuesday Night Live Show is brought to you by School of Santas 2024, hosted by Spangle in picturesque Branson, Missouri. Oh, what a beautiful place where education and fun meet. All right, so Spangle normally does this portion, so Rex is going to do it for us tonight. He put his clown shoes on. Only thing he doesn't have is his red nose, but hey, we'll overlook that.
And remember, this is brought to you by Spangle's School of Santa. So here's tonight's trivia question. Who tells you they are in town by tap, tap, tapping at your window pane? And what are they dressed in? Now, if you need an extra clue, I'll give it to you after I read this one more time. Who tells you they are in town by tap, tap, tapping on your window pane, and what are they dressed in? And you might have to think back to one of those nursery rhymes you either heard as a child or read to your child?
Yes, that goes back a long ways, doesn't it, for us old fellas?
Well, yep, that's a rather old nursery rhyme, so we'll see who can figure it out pretty quick.
I don't know if you watched it. I think you did. You was on yesterday's show, but Randy Nevermore got the second reading of the trivia question out, and AJ had already answered it.
I saw that. I was absolutely amazed. I cannot imagine how fast his fingers must move. Because, and you know, Randy may not be the fastest reader in the world. None of us are at our age anymore. But I'm going to tell you what, AJ just had that up there, I think, before he even actually got it all out the first time.
He may have, and they had 5 answers that needed to be included, and he got all 5 of them. Here's the thing. I'm beginning to think he's hacked into my computer and he's getting these questions ahead of time.
Well, you never know.
That's possible.
It's possible. You know, he is a whiz at a lot of things.
He is tech savvy, that's for sure. Absolutely. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and run the promo, 2 minutes, 30 seconds. We'll be back right after that.
The first half of tonight's Tuesday Night Live show is brought to you by SchoolofSantas.com. Kick off your 2024 season with inspiration from the School of Santas, an annual premier educational opportunity where fun and education meet, and is held each year the third weekend in July in scenic Branson, Missouri. School of Santas prides itself in bringing in a variety of new instructors and presenters each year, which makes this school unique in the Christmas community. Offering quality education, training, and fun. This year included in your tuition, for only $459 is 4 days of classes, Thursday through Sunday, and 4 fun nights of entertainment. 2 of these are in-house, along with 2 Branson theater shows, where the class can enjoy time out on the town. Also included is a 4x6 graduation photo with the keynote instructor, and a digital group photo. We kick off both nights with a parade, our annual School of Santas tribute to Daisy May. All meals provided during class served in-house include a total of 4 dinners and 3 lunches. And breakfast is also included if staying at the host hotel. To close out the weekend, we have the Sunday graduation reception with Elvis entertaining on stage. We also have our expanded StuffForSanta.com mobile store in-house all weekend along with other select premier vendors. Remember, School of Santas Branson, Missouri is where fun and education meet. For more information, or to reserve your educational, fun vacation in Branson, contact Tanya Lay at 1-800-432-4202 or email Tanya at bransonticket.com. Hotel rooms are not included in the price. Reservations for your room at the American by Wyndham Branson and Conference Center can be made at the time of registration. Remember to contact Tanya at 1-800-432-4202 before it's too late. Now, back to tonight's show.
Well, I see lots of answers coming in already to that trivia question. And don't forget, tonight's trivia, this first one, get your name tossed in the hat for a free scholarship to School of Santas 2024. That's next July. So keep putting those answers in. Our fabulous producer, Angela Mack, will check all the timestamps and come up with a winner later in the show. All right. Our featured guest tonight lives in Maryland Heights, Missouri. Some of you may remember back in July during School of Santas, we visited with her during one of our Branson Live specials, where we found out that she is what in our industry is called a newbie. She will be taking on the Mrs. Claus persona for her first time as a professional entertainer this Christmas. She is fun, has $1 million smile, but most of all, very hungry to learn all she can in the red suit industry while honing the craft. Please welcome tonight's special guest, Diane Elizabeth Vien.
Hello.
Hello, Diane. How are you?
I am great. I'm doing great. How are you both tonight?
We are good, doing good. Just didn't mention this because we normally talk weather on Monday, but the 100-degree weather was back today. We're going to have a few hundreds in a row here, 107 in a couple of days. Then we get a cool down and possibly some rain. So, other than the heat, Dane, we're doing great.
Awesome. Awesome. Good to see you both.
Well, we're so
Good to
happy
see
to
you,
see
and
you
welcome
tonight.
to the show. We've been anticipating this since Branson when we sat down and chatted. So let's start off going back to your childhood when you were growing up. Share your fondest memories of Christmas with your parents and siblings.
Well, every Christmas was always fun. I have 5 siblings, so there were 6 of us growing up. So it was just always fun. My most memorable thing that happened one time, we opened Christmas gifts on Christmas Eve, and then Santa came over the night. So, like siblings, we exchanged gifts. So, we were almost about to open gifts, and we heard this big noise. So, somebody ran upstairs, and there was a car accident outside, right outside of our house. And I can remember my dad getting one of my gifts and saying, Diane, you need to open this now. So I opened it up, and it was this huge flashlight. It had like a brim like this, and it had a handle, but you could hit different buttons and it would flash. So he wanted me to get that out and put it on for the accident that just happened in front of our house. So that was just a fun. I always remember that.
Yeah, those
Very
big
memorable
family
for sure.
Christmases are always a blast, right? I
They
come
were.
from a family of 6 siblings too. I was the oldest, and they were always a blast. So tell us, what was your favorite toy or gift that Santa brought you as a child?
I can remember 2 actually. Now I can't think of the name of them. But I can remember going and sneaking a peek of what he brought because we all had our spaces. Mine was on the couch on the left side, my sister's was on the right side, my brother had this chair, my sister had this chair. So I went over to it and I got, I can't even think of the name. They were these Crayola. My mind's
Markers?
No, they weren't a marker, like an oil crayon. What do they call? But anyway, I really wanted them. So I was so tickled. So I had to go back to bed and wait and come back out and act surprised. But that was one of my favorites. But then I also remember after you opened gifts, we all had our stockings hung up. And eventually we get to the stocking. So we're taking out the candy and everything. And at the very, very bottom by the toes, there was a little box. And so I took it out and I was like starting to shake because I thought I knew what it was. And I opened it up and it was an opal ring that I wanted. And it was like my first piece of real good jewelry, So that was always a highlight. I loved that ring. So
You can't
Very
remember the
good.
name of what it was, but the important part is that you got what you wanted, and that's what is always so
I did.
special about Christmas.
I
So,
did.
as a young girl, did you and your siblings ever get to go see Santa? Give him your Christmas wish list at a department store or mall, or for that fact, anywhere.
Well, I don't really remember. I'm going to show you a picture though, because I know I went once because I don't know if you can see this. Oh, can you see this picture or is it too bright?
Hang on, she's going to blow it up to a full screen. There you
Okay.
go.
Oh gosh. Does that help? Oh, why is it so dark? Why is it so light?
Oh,
Oh, wait.
yeah, that's the way the light is on it. I think we got a glimpse of it.
Darn it. Oh, no. But it's me on Santa's lap. Oh, I'm so bummed. Why is it not? There you
There you
go.
go. There you go. Hold it right
There you
there. Oh, yeah.
There
Okay.
you go. Yeah.
I am the
Great
one in the
picture.
middle. And then my sister Vicky's on my right, my brother Gary, and my sister Mary Grady's at the bottom. But I remember that, and I don't look real happy.
The
Well,
youngest
at
of the
that
young
age, some
sometimes
aren't.
aren't happy.
Now,
Now,
and I do.
if I remember right, that same picture's on your website, correct?
It is. I did.
It
put
is. So people
Yeah.
can go to your website after the show and check it out if they couldn't see it well there.
Yeah. I do remember Santa coming to my grandmother's house, my grandma and grandpa's house in Pennsylvania, Johnstown, Pennsylvania. And I did not like Santa very much. I didn't want anything to do with him. So, but I was little. So,
Well,
but yeah, I don't remember going and sitting on his lap, but obviously I did once at least. So,
It's
well, you know,
amazing how your memory
at
fades the
least
older
back
you
in my
get.
time as a child, there weren't malls or those places. So if we went to see Santa, it had to be at a department store. And I'm of an age where even Sears Roebuck and Montgomery Ward's weren't always the big department store around. We had locally owned department stores, so we didn't always have a Santa to go see. But since you're rather new to the Claus family, we'd like for our viewers to get to know you. We see you have a herbalist, as well as a photographer in the family, and as a Claus that's got to be a good thing. Can you share a little bit about yourself, your husband, and your family with us?
I can. I'm hoping these pictures come through, but I am married to this man. If you could, oh, sugar. I don't know if you can see, but Curtis and I, there we
Yes.
are. So we've been married almost 6 years. And then I'm going to show you another picture because I just love them. I love my girls. I have 2 daughters. And oh, that's Curtis still. So that's my daughters, Gretchen and Claire. So they
And
have
one's a photographer and one's a herbalist.
correct. Yeah. So they're wonderful. Gretchen's here in St. Louis, and Claire is in White Bluff, Tennessee. And Monday, I'm heading down there. So
Now, have you got grandbabies?
I have 5 grandbabies.
You go. Can't forget the grandbabies.
Oh, they're awesome. Gretchen has 3 and Claire has 2. So, and I go
You
by
are blessed.
Grandy. I go by Grandy. So Grandy's excited to go see the other ones. So,
I'll bet you're like most of us grandparents. You know, if we had realized how much fun grandkids would be, we'd have just skipped the first kids altogether, going straight to the grandkids.
they are. They're the best. I can't get enough of them. They're just so fun.
Hey, there was an option to have more kids. That way you'd have more grandbabies too, right?
We could, but I think I'm done. I don't think we're having any more grandbabies.
So tell me, which of your 2 daughters, the one that lives there in St. Louis with you, is that the herbalist or the photographer?
The photographer. Yeah.
So you've got your own built-in photographer for Claus sessions.
Yeah, she took my pictures on the website of me, and I need to get back with her and get pictures of me in other outfits so that I can put those on the website too, so that people don't think I just wear the Claus with the cap, with the nightcap. So.
Okay, did you have a favorite food or dessert that you looked forward to as a child during family Christmas celebrations? And have you carried that tradition on with your family celebrations?
Not really. Our Christmas celebration dinner was an exact duplicate of Thanksgiving. We had everything we have at Thanksgiving, we had on Christmas too. So we would have turkey and gravy and mashed potatoes and um, Brussels sprouts. We always had Brussels sprouts and homemade dressing. And so I don't remember any special dessert. I do like pecan pie though. I'm a big fan.
Now, see, and you grew up in Pennsylvania?
No, my mom did. We used to go there every year to visit grandma and grandpa. Yeah.
Because pecan pie is a typically Southern dessert.
Yeah.
That's why I asked. But
Yeah. I do. I love pecan pie. So.
All right, Diane, let's move on to St. Louis Mrs. Claus. What inspired you to want to become a Mrs. Claus, and what was the first thing you actually researched once you knew this was what you wanted to do? I know first thing I done was start hitting the keys, and my mind went crazy, and I'm thinking, oh gosh, how can I get into this? What do I do? So
Yeah.
I think we all go through that phase. So what did you do?
Well, in December, my husband and I went to a Christmas party, and there was a Santa there. It was a realty company, and we sat and watched Santa for 2 hours and talking to the kids and just watching him and listening to the stories, and he was fantastic. So at one point he didn't have any kids with him, so my husband and I went up to him and started talking to him, and and he just was glowing and just loved being a Santa and has been doing this for umpteen years. And kind of jokingly, I said, oh, do you ever need a Mrs. Claus? And he said, well, yeah. He said, I do. He said, I have one, but, not always available. I bought my wife the outfit, but she doesn't like to be Mrs. Claus. And that was it. That's all we talked about. And driving home, I couldn't get it off my mind. And I'm thinking, I think I want to be Mrs. Claus. So I turned to my husband and I said, I think I want to be Mrs. Claus. And he's like, go for it. So the next day, I just got up and I went on Facebook first to see if there were groups. And I don't even know how many groups I'm in, 20 something, I think. Claus families and groups and Mrs. Clauses. But literally since then, that is all I do. I am doing Claus things all day long. Also on my website, I have gift baskets. So I'm either making gift baskets, buying for gift baskets, or on a Zoom or a webinar. I'm on things like this 5, 6, 7 times a week. So, yeah.
And applying for all those scholarships. I know you spent a big part of this year applying for different scholarships and did actually get one.
I did. To the School of Santas. It was wonderful.
So will you be performing as a standalone Mrs. Claus, or will you be working with a Santa this season?
Mostly my own. But I'll be willing to work with any Santa Claus in the St. Louis area. So I'm hoping they call me.
It's amazing how that bug bites you. It's it just takes you over, it transforms you, and before you know it, you're out of your mind with Claus stuff.
I know.
So have you tried twisting your husband's arm to get him to maybe?
Yeah, he's still working. I retired recently, so this is like perfect for me. But he doesn't really have an interest in it, but he's pro St. Louis Mrs. Claus. So,
It usually works the other way around. Us guys get into it, and the wives say, "No, no, no, it's not for me. I don't want to." They go to a few events with us and see how much darn fun we're having, and they say, "Well, this ain't so bad after all. Maybe I could be your Mrs. Claus," and
you
therefore
never
they
know.
transform.
You never know. Never
You
say
never know.
never, huh?
Never say never. That's right. So, Diane, have you done much self-promoting for your upcoming season, and have you been successful booking yourself for this coming up season?
I need to do more, but I do have one booking, and it's for 2 days. It's just like an hour before the Nutcracker Ballet. I'm gonna, see the kids and read them a story and give them a little gift and do that. So I'm so excited that I have that. But I need to get out there more and promote it. So
So, all right, guys, if you're in the St. Louis area and you happen to have more gigs than you can handle, or you can't, cover a certain date or time that needs a Mrs. Claus, keep Diane in mind, pass it along, and help her out. One leads to two, two leads to three. Before you know it, you got so many, you just say, "Hey, I can't do any more."
would be awesome.
Well, also, Diane, I noticed looking over your website that you are a member of Nationwide Santas.
I am.
And it's a great group. Gina's a great gal to be working for. I just wanted to let you know that you need to stay in good touch with her because Nationwide Santas wrote the very first independent contract for a Mrs. Claus to perform at Bass Pro
Really?
at exactly the same rate the Santa was getting.
Awesome.
So you're with a premier outfit there.
Okay.
Just stay in touch with him and keep checking that job board.
You think she'd share that with me?
Well, I can share it with you because it was my Mrs. Claus at the time she did it for.
Awesome.
Okay, so have you joined any local Claus groups or been to any of your local Claus group meetings or gatherings since getting involved in the Claus industry?
I have. We have a Gateway Claus family here in St. Louis, and we'll meet for lunch. And they do it quarterly, but I kind of threw in an extra one a couple weeks ago just to have another one and meet more Claus family members. But they usually have somebody come in. There was a seamstress at the last luncheon, and the one next month, a librarian is going to come in and talk about, storytelling and how to read the book and do all that. So, yeah, they've been wonderful.
Always a great resource. I mean, it's some of
They
the
are.
best learning opportunities we get is in our local groups that we form up and just have lunches and chit chats together.
Yep.
So
It's been wonderful. They're great.
And I know in Branson, you did a lot of talking with others, Clauses and getting to know everyone. And one of the things that I think we all kind of took away from Branson was Shirley Winter's presentation on how to read a story, which was fantastic because for so many years we've heard memorize and tell a story, don't read it. She comes along and proves that reading it can be just as good, if not better.
Yeah. No, I actually tried it out on my grandkids. So they were very enthralled.
Always
and,
fun. Hey,
that's
ahead,
the
Ray.
best when you can take something you picked up at one of the gatherings or a school and actually apply it and see the result.
Yeah. She was very good. She gave a lot of tips. So, yeah.
Okay, so here's a fun one for you.
Okay.
What's your all-time favorite Christmas movie?
As a child, it was Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. I just, loved that and was down at the TV waiting for it because I knew it was coming on when I was a kid. And I always remember Santa I think it was a commercial for Gillette, like coming down on a
Yes,
flat
yes.
razor.
Norelco razors. Norelco razors is what it
Norelco,
was.
that's what it was.
So I just remember that, and I just loved that. But as an adult, probably White Christmas.
Good one.
Yeah.
I'm a Griswold fan.
Oh, okay.
See, I'm a diehard
Just because
fan.
it's zany and I'm zany.
I still don't understand how Die Hard's a Christmas movie, but I know it is.
Okay. Well, before we go to break, Diane,
Mm-hmm.
what is your all-time favorite Christmas song?
I like don't I know bees pacham pacham, don't I know bees pacham. Do you know that? I love that. I don't know.
Can't think of the name of it.
No, it's don't I know bees pacham.
No, okay.
So yeah, but I can't think of any others that I just absolutely love. I love them all. I love them all.
I'll tell you what, give us a chance to get to know you a little bit here in the first half of the show. Right now, though, let's take a short breather. It's time for Spangle's product announcement that we do each week. So we'll be back on the other side.
All righty.
Hello. Hello. Hey! Will somebody get the kid a Happy Meal?
No, don't do that.
Oh, honey.
That's right. Stop the show. It's time for the Tuesday Night Live show stopper special, and it's for this week's Tuesday Night Live show stopper specialist. Come over here to me. I'm gonna tell you what it is. Since Spangle's out of pocket, he said red and green plastic coins. I know he promotes those quite a bit. They are pretty cool because you can always slip those in your pocket, hand them out no matter where you're at, be Santa or Mrs. Claus. He has both versions. And right now he's got a special running, $10. That's 100 per row. So that would be 50 green and 50 red per row, or you can get them, like I say, with Mrs. Claus and or Santa on there. And for tonight's trivia, he's going to give away 2 rows of those. And so go over to the website, get them $10 while the supply lasts. The problem is he's got a whole warehouse full of those things. I think he bought a whole shipping container full. He has got them things everywhere. So anyway, help him out. Buy a few, give them away to the children. The children love them. They're always cool. Something to give away when you're out and about, dressed as Claus or not. It doesn't matter. All right, let's do this, and we'll be back.
Oh, hello there. Yes, of course, it's me, Santa Claus. Now, you may not believe this, but one of the questions I get asked the most is, well, not how do I do it all in one night? No, but where do I get all my things from? Yes, now, what am I talking about? Well, I'm talking about the finest things I have. My glorious gloves, all my knickknacks and trinkets and things. Yes, all the giveaways. Yes, for me to give to the children before the main event. Yes, if I see them in the streets, if they come and see me, I like to have something in my pocket I can treat them with. Yes, and there's one special place where I can find all these magical goods. And that is, of course, stuffforsanta.com. You should head there now and see what magical gifts you can find. Mrs. Claus, have you got my ice pad? Yes, log me on. I'm going to have a look. I shall see you there. Stuffforsanta.com. Merry Christmas.
Just want to say thank you to Santa Claus for the best commercial in the industry. Absolutely never get tired of seeing that one. I catch myself going around trying to speak in a British accent. All
With a
right, so we're going to
Texas
move along
drawl.
here, and this is trivia number 2, stuffforsanta.com. According to the Christmas Warehouse, the Guinness record for the world's biggest or largest blank blank was officially set on January 5th, 2011, in the city of blank, which is located in the historic region known as blank, during a function to help senior citizens, and was filled with blank that was stuffed with blank. A whole lot of blanks there, guys, I know, but again, put in Christmas Warehouse Guinness record and you'll get the answer. So,
And I know you do all those blanks just to make AJ work harder.
well, I got to make somebody work hard because this stuff, I mean, there for a while and hey, it didn't work yesterday, so who knows? I mean, but there for a while they were answering them so quick, and AJ was fast yesterday, wasn't he? Okay, so according to the Christmas Warehouse, the Guinness record for the world's biggest blank blank was officially set on January 5th, 2011, in the city of blank, which is located in the historic region known as blank, during a function to help senior citizens, and was filled with blank that was stuffed with blank. Now that's pretty crazy, but when you get the answers, it'll all make sense. So get those fingers working. See what you can do here. It's good for a couple of rolls of those coins, and you can pass those out and make some children smiles, big and bright. All right, then. So now going back to the show. This is the first Tuesday of the month, and that can only mean one thing, and that is it's time for Jessica Rosa to join us for the holidayphotomagic.com Spangle drives me crazy trivia, and Spangle ain't here tonight, so hey, we got a reprieve.
Does
How
that
about
make it
that?
my
Hi,
job to drive her
Jessica.
crazy?
Hi, everybody.
How are you?
Doing good. I'm
So
up
you
here.
got a trivia question for us that's going to stump them. I think this last one that we just read is going to be a hard one.
Yeah, this might be an easy one, but I like, try to come up with stuff that is interesting and new and just kind of fun to learn.
Yeah.
Okay. This one, a Beatle, yes, a Beatle recorded a Christmas album. Name the artist, the year, and the first song on the album.
Clue. It's not She Loves You. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Nope, it's not that one.
Of course, that would be a Christmas. But anyway.
No, yeah.
You want to read it again, Jessica, just for kicks?
Huh?
Read it again. Come on, read it again.
Okay. A Beatle, not a beetle, but a Beatle, recorded a Christmas album. Name the artist, the year, and the first song on the album. So you got to find the album. It's going to it'll take AJ just like 5 more seconds.
Surprised the answer's not already in there, is it? Better check. It may already be there. Not yet? All right.
I can't see the chat when I'm in the show, so it's hard for me to.
Well, that's all right. We'll let you know if anything develops. Okay, so stay with us, Jessica, because you're part of the show from this point forward here. Yeah, moving on to the second half of tonight's program. Well, let's continue our conversation with St. Louis, Mrs. Claus, Diane Vien. And I am so glad I finally got your name right.
Me too. You do
I
great.
know that's got to be terrible when people mispronounce it. People leave the S off the end of mine a lot, and it drives me crazy. So
Yeah.
okay.
No, you're
Well,
due.
now, see, and I love the way she taught us to say her name. She gave us 2 different ways. It's simply Vien, or Vienna without the Iena. Right? That's the way she taught me anyway.
Yeah.
I don't always get it right. So, Diane,
Yeah.
just this year alone, you have already attended School of Santas in Branson and the Christmas Performers Workshop in the Ohio, Kentucky area. tell us a couple of points you took away from each event that you believe will help you in your portrayal as a new and upcoming Claus.
In the Christmas Performers Workshop, it was more defining your character, which I haven't really defined all of it. So that's why I have a new headpiece on, trying them all out, seeing what you like.
Absolutely.
But with the School of Santas, I just got a lot of little tips for, little tips for reading to the children, and little tips on, I need to put tag words for my website, which I had no idea, and just, I don't know, I just keep learning more and more. When I started, I got a notebook, and I've been writing in every time I do anything. I write it down, and I refer back to it all the time. So it's just been very good, because even watching the Tuesday Night Live show and the Bob and Randall show on Mondays, and there's Mrs. Claus and Elves from Head to Toe that I am in. I'm always picking up new things, which is wonderful, because I had no idea there was a Claus world out there.
Just be a sponge.
Yep.
Yeah, I quite often tell folks, for as long as I've been doing this, when I first started portraying the jolly old elf, there was only one school around, and most of us didn't even know it existed. The C.W. Howard School, right? And there weren't these little local groups and things, right? We were all kind of on our own. So, that's why I find it so much better today, especially for newbies coming in, but even us guys that have been around a while. This community is just something amazing and to soak up and enjoy.
They are. Every single Santa or Mrs. Claus have been so helpful, and they honestly just want you to be a good Mrs. Claus, and will share their ideas and their thoughts and their things they've done, and they've all been very good. I'm very impressed, and I just love them all. They're very helpful. Very helpful.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I can tell you, we all look forward to you being successful and the day that you start to give back to the newbies in the community.
That's right.
And I feel that, and I love that. So thank you.
Okay. Well, I get to ask a few questions now. It's my turn.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay. When you find yourself feeling overwhelmed with all of the things that you need to do before the season, how do you keep yourself in the holiday spirit?
If I feel overwhelmed, I might go shopping. But I
I totally approve.
kind of enjoy that. But I am just so excited to get out there and do my stuff. And so I haven't gotten too overwhelmed, but there's so much to do.
Yes.
So much.
Just always keep that enthusiasm. That's what counts.
Yeah.
Now, I know you're a new Mrs. Claus. So this might not be like maybe a what if more than,
Okay.
something that has happened.
Uh-huh.
But if you were to see a child misbehaving, being naughty, as a Mrs. Claus, would you correct their behavior?
Probably, yes. I
Yeah.
I would have to say something to them.
Somebody needs to, right?
Well, if the parents aren't, yes, somebody needs to.
I've had them. I've had them come on my set, and you would think it was a playground, a jungle set, swinging on things, climbing all over things, climbing all over me in my chair, running around, pushing each other down.
Yeah.
And of course, I myself try not to say anything, but I'll give them that look, that, and shake my finger. That usually
And
works.
see, on my set, I find myself wanting to correct parents more than the children.
Yes.
Right? I tend to
Yes.
have more issues with the way the parents act sometimes.
Uh-huh. I've had to do that too. Great answer though, Diane. Great answer.
So, Diane, have you set some goals for Christmas 2023? And what would you like to accomplish as a performer?
Well, I just want to be a good Mrs. Claus that people hear about and, request that they want a St. Louis Mrs. Claus. So hopefully. What was the first part that you asked?
What did you set a personal goal for Christmas 2023?
No, I really didn't. Right now, I'm just kind of trying to get my name out there and let people know who I am. I've signed up for a few vendor and craft fairs since I do make gift baskets, and I'll be Mrs. Claus while I'm there, and I'm hoping to, maybe get some leads from those.
I do love the way on your website you publicize it as Mrs. Claus's own workshop.
Mm-hmm.
and I looked at a few of those things. You call them gift baskets, but I saw coffee mugs with gifts in them and all kinds of things. I mean, you're quite gifted at putting these things together and making them look fabulous. So.
I never made one before January. I watched a lot of YouTube videos.
Yes, YouTube is our friend.
It is.
I always say Google and YouTube are your best friends when you're a Claus. Or not, but when you're a Claus. Okay, so Diane, as North Pole Cornerstones team develops and fine-tunes our curriculum further for our 3-day event, February 2nd through the 4th, 2024 in San Antonio, Texas. We know you're going to attend. What would you like to see us present, or something that you would like to see us present that you haven't seen at the other events that you've attended? Is there anything? Any suggestions?
I do have one. Not recently, but since I've been into the Claus family, I found out there was a Mrs. Claus oath, and I thought, now they should be doing that at every school, and Santa should be doing that at every school. So when you graduate, you do this oath. So I would like to say the Mrs. Claus oath at the North Pole.
You want to tell it, Rex?
Yes, and I can tell you right now, we have scheduled at our graduation ceremony the official Santa Claus oath, Mrs. Claus oath, and elf oath.
Awesome.
For everyone to take.
Awesome.
And we've got it. We've got all the proper copyrights taken care of. We've got all the permissions granted. We will be executing those oaths at North Pole Cornerstone.
I love that. Thank you.
Signing them for documentation.
Yeah.
Yep.
Awesome.
That's the reason why you don't hear it at every school, is because there has to be certain permissions that are granted.
Yes, that's right.
And, so like at our school, we could only do it when there are certain people that have those permissions are granted.
Okay.
Yep. There's a lot of hoops to jump through to be able to do this.
Yeah.
There is with everything.
Yeah.
But it is a great honor to do it. It really makes you feel connected with the community, and to be able to put forth that oath. If you really take those oaths, the wording in those oaths to heart, it really will make you think a lot of times and be better at your game because of what you pledged to do.
Yeah. I just love what Mrs. Claus personifies, the goodness and the kindness. And I just think we need
For sure.
more of that in this world. So,
Well, I quite often like to say, if we could all continue to exude the Christmas spirit every day of the year, what a wonderful world we'd live in.
I
Amen.
agree. I agree.
Amen.
Well, now we get to the point where I get to ask you one of the most fun questions we ask most every one of our guests.
Okay.
So, Diane, if the opportunity were to arise, what question would you ask the real Mrs. Claus?
I knew this was coming and I didn't think ahead of it. Let me think. Oh gosh. How do you name the elves? I don't
That's
know.
one that hadn't been said before. That's a good one.
That's a good one. When I get asked that question, I always tell them we don't name them, we number them. Because there's just
Yeah.
way too many.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
very good question.
Good answer.
Okay.
Okay, guys, let's go to our viewers. Oh, wait a minute. Jessica, have you got some more questions?
No,
Yes, you do.
she still got some more.
I missed a whole page.
You better quit. You better quit it. You're acting like Spangle.
I'm trying.
Now-
I'm trying.
Diane, what is the one thing that you want to share to another Mrs. Claus that helped you in building your character?
Oh, I don't know. Because I don't feel like I've gotten my character down all the way, I keep buying different dresses and different hair pieces and
So explore.
hmm?
So explore. Experiment.
See?
Yeah.
Yeah, go out and see what you feel comfortable doing and wearing and what you're good at. So,
Oh, that's awesome. Okay. Last question for me. Do you think it's okay that Mrs. Claus can wear pants?
absolutely. She can rock pants. Yeah.
Yay! I love your answer. Wonderful, darling.
Yeah, and just so everyone knows, Jessica asked her own questions this week. I did not write those for her. Those are hers, and they are fantastic. I was talking with her last night, and I said, "Hey, I need a few more questions for the script. Help me out." She says, "You just opened up Pandora's box," and boom, she started flooding me with all this stuff.
I'm like,
I said, "Okay, we're done. We're done."
he's like,
Oh,
good,
my
but
goodness.
I didn't expect you to put all of them in, but okay.
Yeah. Well, hey, they were all good, fantastic. I loved every one of them. Had to work them in somehow or another.
Yeah.
I did take a couple that I had in and removed them, and because yours were better. So
Well,
okay,
thank you.
let's reveal tonight's trivia answers at this point. SchoolofSantas.com. Who tells you they are in town by tapping at your window pane, and what are they dressed in? The answer to that is the old nursery rhyme, Susie Snowflake. And she is dressed in a snow white gown. And our winner is Angie.
Jeff Olette.
Jeff Olette is our winner. Your name goes into the hat for that drawing for Branson 2024 in July. Fantastic job, Jeff. And Jeff was there this year also. He enjoyed himself immensely, as we all did, and his company. Okay, stuffforsanta.com. According to the Christmas Warehouse, the Guinness record for the world's biggest Christmas stocking was officially set on January 5th, 2011 in the city of Carrara, which is located in the historic region known as Tuscany. That would be Italy. during a function to help senior citizens, and it was filled with balloons that were stuffed with sweets. Now, how unique is that? Is that not cool?
That is cool.
That
That's
is.
cool.
That was
And that's
that was
just what
pretty
us
cool.
senior citizens need is more sweets.
Oh, I'm telling you.
And balloons. Now, were some of the balloons like helium in there?
It didn't say, but that would be kind of interesting to know, wouldn't it? And that was according to the Christmas Warehouse, is where I found that on their website. Jessica,
Cute.
over to you for your answer and question and answer. That is. Oh, the winner.
Okay.
Charlie Johnson gets the winner on that one. You get you some
Yay.
coins there, buddy.
Okay.
I'll get you stuff over to Spangle and get him to ship those out to you this week.
Mhm.
Okay, now over to Jessica.
All right. A Beatle recorded a Christmas album. Name the artist, the year, and the first song on the album. The answer is Ringo Starr in 1999. And the song is Come On Christmas, Christmas Come On. And it is an awesome album. You can find it on Spotify. You can find it on YouTube. There is a song, I Want to Be Santa Claus, that is just awesome. There's so many good songs on that album. You guys got to go find it.
She actually sent it to me in Messenger, the link to it.
I did.
And the winner is?
Ooh, send it to me.
It's our YouTuber, and it is the Gobbler Ridge Farms, which is Santa Ken Kringle, aka Ken Ray.
Yay!
And he said no relation to Rex.
Ken Ray, no relation to Rex. And it's
Yay.
Gobbler.
It's Gobbler Ridge Farms.
Gobbler Ridge Farms is how he's joining us. That's his YouTube name. His name is Ken Rex?
Ken Kringle, aka Ken Ray.
Very good. Ken Ray. Okay, got it.
Are we going to show
Okay,
the...
fantastic. So, Jessica, you want to...
Do you want me to play that video for what he wins?
Yeah. Put that up. I was fixing to say, Jessica, explain what he gets, and
I think she can still talk through it. So I'm gonna play
Yeah.
it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I think we just show it. Yeah. Okay, you get 4 options to choose from. Option number 1 is that I will design you a business card. It's a digital business card, so you have to do the printing. You can send me option number 2 is you can send me about 10 of your own personal cell phone photos, and then I'll do a little editing, where I do some white balance and kind of tweak them up and make them look just a little bit better. And then option number 3 is where I'll take a look at your website and give you a little bit of feedback on how you can make your website better. What are some, just constructive ideas, because sometimes the second person looking at it kind of makes a big difference. And then the last option is that during the holiday season, we like to post things on our Facebook accounts or our socials, like Instagram. What I'll do is I'll create you a little promo that you can use throughout the season to announce your services and to share about your portrayal as either Santa or Mrs. Claus or both, or whatever services you want to highlight.
very good. So, did he send you his information, or?
Yeah, you'll have to send it to me.
Okay, just send it to, if you will, send it to Jessica Rosa. And you can reach her in a private message under the name Jessica Rosa, like you see there on the screen.
Yeah.
HolidayPhotoMagic.com.
I think I have one of those coming, Jessica.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. And I don't remember, what did you decide to do? Was it the ad or was it?
Yeah, for the website.
Yeah, for the website. Yeah. Unfortunately, I got a little bit behind between the Santa Claus schools and all of the photos.
I know.
But yeah, I'm trying to. I've really have like restricted my schedule the last couple of weeks, so that way I can dedicate like this whole holiday weekend. I like strapped myself into the chair outside of helping out Spangle one day. I spent 3-4 days just doing nothing but editing. I got a lot done, but I still have a lot to go.
Oh, I'm sure it takes a long time.
Yeah. That's the beautiful thing about what I love doing. It's labor intensive, but it's just so much fun.
You're very good at it.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Let's go to our viewers and see if they have any questions or comments. I see that our fabulous producer, Angela Mack, has several starred up here for us, Bob.
Yes, she does. And the first one coming from Gobbler Ridge Farms, who we just spoke with. Rex, you said she had $1 million smile, where I don't think I'd take anything less than $2 million.
Yes,
Yeah,
she does. She has an
very
absolutely
sweet.
beautiful smile.
Well, thank
Yes, she
you.
does.
Thank
Okay,
you.
and also
Light up the room when you come in, Diane.
yes, it does. And Ken Ray over there at Gobbler Ridge Farms also says, Dan, get some pictures with the grandchildren while you're Mrs. Claus to help show how good you look until you have your first events. I still have some of those on my site even now, he says.
I do.
So put
Actually,
those grandkids to work as models with you.
the only kids on my website are my grandchildren so far. So you'll see how sweet they are.
Next one
Let's
is
see.
from
Also,
Bob
Bob
Church.
Churchwell says, I had the
Yep.
privilege of sharing a table space with Diane at School of Santas. If I was closer to Missouri, I'd use her as my Mrs. Claus. And that was Bob Churchwell.
I'd love to work with Bob. He was great.
Yes, and Bob is a future guest on the show coming up. Let me get this real quick. Take just a second here. Be September 26th. That's in 3 weeks. We'll have Bob on.
Yeah.
So you can write nice things about him when he's on.
I will.
Let's see. What else have we got here? Let's see. Facebook user, I'm not sure who that is, says she'll see us in San Antonio.
That's
Judy
Deanna.
Broderick says Santa Nana Holiday University also has permissions to do the oath, and that she was blessed to be at the very first reciting of the Mrs. Claus pledge in Santa Claus, Indiana. And yes, I remember that well, Judith. My wife and I were there at the same time. You and her shared the stage taking that pledge.
And that was Deanna. The comment said she would see you in San Antonio.
Okay, and let's see here. Another one. Yes, Virginia, there are oaths and pledges and commissions for all our lovely clauses. Again, that was a Facebook user, and I don't have.
It was Deanna again.
Okay. And I'm guessing this is probably Deanna again. Yes, Mrs. Claus is vital to our performance.
Who is it?
Robert.
Robert.
I can't pronounce that last name. Auer.
Robert Ayer. Bob, Santa Bob in Alabama.
And let's see. Connie Bayless says, my husband and I had no idea what to expect when we attended with AJ this year. We had so much fun talking about School of Santas in Branson. And I think you got to meet AJ while you were there, Deanna. So,
I did.
Let's see. Another. Yes, Santa schools are great. Mrs. Claus and all the ladies rock everything. Yes, they do. As a guy who has lost his Mrs. Claus, let me tell you, they do a whole lot more than we realize a lot of the time.
And not just at events, but that's daily.
Daily. Absolutely daily.
If you still have your Mrs. Claus and you are a Santa, reach over, give them a hug and a kiss tonight, because they are invaluable.
Let's see. Jerry Keel has a question for you, Diane. What are your gigs? What is your plan for each of them, and how do you plan out the event?
Well, I have down if on my website that I can do tuck-ins, so I can come and read a story to your child and tuck them in for the night. So they dream of sugar plums. I'm trying to put together a hot chocolate with Mrs. Claus. So I'm having trouble finding a location. Our community center won't let me do it if I charge. So I have somebody helping me with that. So I'm doing that. But during that, I have Christmas bingo that we can do. I have a game with socks that I have different things in the socks. I think I'm going to get stockings, Christmas stockings. Right now I have socks, but I think I'll get Christmas stockings and then, say, okay, the first one to find the marble, so everybody has to go in. They can't look, they can't take it out. And the first one that finds the marble, gets a point. So, do that with a bunch of little things. I have jingle bells for all the kids so that we can, of course, do jingle bells so that they can have their own set of bells. Just whatever comes up. I'm game. I'm game.
Well, let me give you a suggestion. When you're looking for a place to hold events, talk to some of your local churches. Their parish halls, their church halls and stuff, quite often, they will rent out and allow you to charge. Okay. But they can also help put a crowd together for you.
Yeah.
So your local churches, talk to some of the Sunday schools and stuff. Yeah. They can help you out, put a lot of those kind of things together. Yeah. And give you a place to do it. Let's see. We've got a few more here. Santa AJ says, Dan, it was a pleasure meeting you in Branson and hope to see you in San Antonio.
You will.
And let's see. Here's a Facebook user. I'm not sure who this is. Diane Vien. What are you looking forward to the most this season? And have you booked anything yet for the season?
I just have the one booking so far. So, it's for 2 different performances, 2 different days. I don't know. I'm just anxious to get out there and see how I do. I'm just very excited for the season. So.
That question was from Santa Doug.
Santa Doug.
Yeah. So we've got another, we'll see you in San Antonio from a Facebook user. And another Facebook user says, I have done Cocoa with Mrs. Claus.
Okay.
Both of those are from Sean White.
White. Oh, and she's a fabulous Mrs. Claus.
Really. Yeah,
yes, she is.
I remember she was on your show.
Yes, she was. Very, very good show. All right. Looks like Jessica's back joining us just in time for us to go ahead and close out the show. Unless anyone has any further questions, anything here that popped up while we were off on the starred ones?
But I see snowballs.
Look like it. Okay.
I
see
snowballs.
All right, so John, we're going to go ahead and start closing out here. Join us next week for our next Tuesday Night Live episode, 7 p.m. Central, where our featured guests will be the Clauses, Tracy and Elizabeth Rouge, who moved to Branson a couple of years ago and will be performing their second year. We're going to find out how the move has benefited their Claus business as well as their day jobs. And lots to learn there, and they do have plenty to share. Want to give a shout out to them also because they have volunteers for the North Pole Cornerstones in San Antonio. They helped us tear down in Branson. They're going to help us set up and tear down in San Antonio. Always love catching up with Tracy and Liz. Over to you, Jessica. Snowballs. I see snowballs.
Oh, yeah. I am totally prepared. Let me tell you.
I knew it wasn't Easter and those weren't eggs. So,
well, when I see Rex, I'm like, You know, I'm getting ready.
But that, just remember, I'm the one that helped you out when Michael and Rhonda were on the show. Just remember that when we get in.
I know. Well, and I'm looking online for one of those snowball guns. Yeah, where you
Yeah.
can just like pop up. You know, oh, we're going down. It's gonna have fun. I just, this is what I love about our Claus community is that we just like to have fun. That's all. So, well, thank you so much. I lost my notes because I had to change my phone because my phone died. So, so what are we supposed to do next?
Just well, your next line was can't forget to catch the next Monday show with Bob and Randall Monday at 3 p.m. Central. So I got you covered.
Thank you for the cover.
Now over to Rex.
And North Pole Cornerstones. Don't forget to remember, join us February 2nd, 3rd, and 4th in San Antonio, Texas at the Marriott Northwest for the first session ever of North Pole Cornerstones. Our cornerstones are legendary.
Yeah.
You can check it all out at npcornerstones.com. And if you have questions, there's a contact form on there. You can send us any question. Full registration information, vendor information is there. npcornerstones.com. Don't miss it.
And I might add, we sent out little welcome letters here recently that gave payment plans, which we offer payment plans, and the method that we was asking for everyone to pay, which was Zelle. We had a few people that wrote back and said, well, I don't have a Zelle account. Can we pay with credit card? So we discussed that, and Rex and Deanna came up with a plan there. So if you do want to attend and don't want to use it, just reach out to Rex or Deanna, and they'll set you in the right track. Anything I missed there, Rex?
Nope. In fact, the credit card information should be on the website in the registration form. If not already, it will be there very shortly.
Are there many signed up?
Actually, yeah, we are. I don't remember the exact number. We're somewhere around the 50 marks. We're over halfway to our initial goal.
Awesome.
We think we know we have a capacity for about 112. And I think we can stretch that kind of like Spangles stretches in Branson there to about 120.
Awesome.
Yeah, we put some of y'all in the corner.
That's what we did. We left a couple corners open. So
yeah.
Rex was in charge of laying out the design for the classroom and for the render's room. He's got all that laid out. Got a real nice little drawing on it. We know where everything's going to be. We've got such a fantastic team, and I'd like to take a moment just to recognize everyone. Deanna Golden, fantastic. Love working with that lady. Rex Ray, they both have so much corporate experience, which has really been a blessing when starting this whole deal from scratch. And Scott Seraphton, got to give him kudos. He is our logistics and sound and audio and visual technician, is taking care of everything there for us. Judith Broderick, myself, Chrissy Kovic, CostumeMagic.com. Fantastic team. I love working with these folks. We've had some of the best meetings I've ever been in my life since we started this. Have worked everything through and getting really close to wrapping up. I say wrapping up. We're working really hard on the curriculum. It is going to be a different experience. Rex, you want to kind of fill in on that real quick?
Well, our goal here is 0 PowerPoints or just 1 or 2 for each lesson we're going to do. We're not going to have PowerPoints up on the screen with bullet after bullet after bullet. We're going to have a big book we're going to pass out to everybody that you get to take home with you that's going to have all the information in it. This is to be a very interactive school. We're going to put people in groups. We're going to bring those groups up on stage. We're actually going to video you doing a performance, either as your Mr. Claus, Mrs. Claus, Elf, or as a historical figure We're going to video you and give it to you on a thumb drive you get to take home so you can review your own performance. Not something many of us have ever gotten the opportunity to do.
No.
We're taking a whole new approach to this. We want to make it fun, exciting, and educational all at the same time.
Couldn't have put it better myself. Fantastic. Let's see. Is there anything? There was a comment over here I wanted to catch real quick. Gobbler Ridge Farms, Ken says Big Lots has a snowball slingshot.
Ah,
I knew
I
they
don't
had
know. I
snowballs.
don't know. You're
Draw
you're
back and
asking.
let her go, right?
Yeah,
Being a slingshot, I'm liable to hit myself, you know.
that's
Uh,
what I was thinking. I was like, you got to understand. There's operator error. You got to
Whoops.
think about who you're dealing with here.
Is that Deanna that put up, we have 50 plus clauses coming? Are you one of them? Okay, Deanna put that up. We have 50 plus clauses coming. Are you one of them? If not, reach out and hey, I want to say hi to Gene Goats and Janet. They live just a few blocks from the Marriott Northwest, San Antonio, where the event will be held. They have reached out. They are also volunteers. They're boots on the ground for us. Want to thank them now while we have an opportunity since he's on watching tonight. Okay, so moving right along here. Rex, you got any closing thoughts at this point?
Well, I'm just so glad that, Diane, you got to come on the show. We got a chance for everybody to get to know you the way the three of us got to know you in
Yeah.
Branson. You know, I'm one of the guys that's always pushing for the newer performers to come forward and be interviewed because they'll remind old guys like me of things we've long forgot.
Mhm.
You know, that fresh set of eyes, as Jessica was saying about your website or anything else. It also happens in our performance. A fresh set of eyes gives us all new ideas. So thank you so much for sharing with us tonight, Diane.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate you asking. It's an honor.
Jessica, your turn.
What am I supposed to say?
Whatever you want to say here. This is your closing thoughts. Wait a minute. Do we have enough time? Yeah, we do.
I don't know. I mean, you're taking a chance. No. You know what? I am just so excited about the cornerstones. The more that you guys have shared information with me, I'm really excited about being a part of that and coming to the school and supporting, all my favorite people. Because you're kind of like my close. This is like you're like my close Claus family. So I really appreciate that. I'm just, I'm really looking forward to this season. There's so much going on and so many opportunities and I mean, it just seems like everybody is doing really good, and I'm just really excited about that.
And taking advantage here real quick. I know Spangles registration is really way up there this year. Not a
Yes.
lot of seats left, correct? Is that correct still?
No, I mean, and
So
you know what? And we've been working on, for each school, I always do. I don't know if you kind of notice, but I always have an overarching kind of theme, so then that way it kind of balances out between the featured speaker and then, of course, the other teachers that come in and share their information, so this next year, I'm really excited because having Jeff come in, he's got a very big background in performance. So we're definitely going to put a lot more emphasis on performance. But then there's a few things that I've kind of got up my sleeve that, it's going to make it just a little bit more fun, because, you can't always do the same thing. We like to kind of keep things, very School of Santa-ish, but yet be inventive at the same time.
and that's
I think
why
you might have
School of
been
Science
hanging
has
out with
been so
Spangle too
successful.
much, Jessica. I think he's starting to rub off on you.
But that's why
Actually,
you guys have been so successful though, because it is ever changing. Even though it keeps the same flair, the same fun things, but then it's the different instructors each year and different things that we do, different shows, which
Yeah.
is always cool.
Yeah, we want to, we want it to be a fresh experience each time. Being located in the middle of the United States, almost smack dab in the middle of the United States,
Right, right.
it's not hard to get to Branson, and Branson, is one of the last wholesome places that you can go to bring your family and not have to worry about an unsavory element that
Right.
that's there. So that's another reason why we love inviting people to our backyard, the Ozarks, because it's just so. Oh, and in the next couple of months here, it's going to be the most beautiful that you've ever seen because of all of our trees and stuff like that. It's just gorgeous.
Yep, fantastic. So, hey, if you have not bought your tickets for School of Santa, get out there and get those seats. The remaining ones, there's not a lot left, so it's going to be
Yep.
a sellout. But you better get off the fence if you're thinking about it. Get a chance, come down to San Antonio, North Pole Cornerstones, npcornerstones.com. Check us out, and we'd like to see a sellout for both. We're all one great big family, and we love teaching, we love sharing, and we love the Claus community for sure.
And we only ask for $100 deposit, which you have to have down by the end of this month. So that's the only, commitment that you need to make at this particular point in time is just you're saving your seat with that, little deposit, which will apply towards, it kind of breaks it up just a little bit so it's not so expensive all at one
Yeah.
time. But that on September, I think 30th is what we have as our date to where you've got to put down your deposit to save your seat.
And Santa AJ says his mom is going to call and pay for their deposit. So there you
Yes.
have it.
Oh, AJ, miss you, buddy. Mwah.
All right, Diane, we want to thank you so much for coming on the show. It's been so much fun. We knew it would be. You and I went out in the hallway. I've mentioned this a dozen times. But
Yeah.
I had such a good time chatting with you between them screaming in my ear and trying to get a conversation with you. But I know Rex and I and Deanna and Jessica, all of us are looking forward to seeing you in San Antonio in February 2024. So thank you so much. Great show. And over to you, Rex.
Okay, folks, and don't forget, you got to get some of that T&L Merc, right? All this great Merc at Fancy Lee's Creation, fancylees.com. Check it out, man. There are some expenses to putting this show on. Certain things have to be paid for us to be able to do this in a semi-professional way. But the sales of that Merc is what helps us do this. So please, check out fancylees.com. Get that shirt, that hat, that mug. We got license plates, Christmas ornaments. They've got all kinds of great Santa stuff coming out. So check them out, fancylees.com.
T-shirts. Yep, for sure. All right, a big thank you to schoolofsantas.com, stufforsantas.com, holidayphotomagic.com, thermapparel.com. That's a tough one. It really is. fancylace.com and North Pole Cornerstones. Thank you so much to everyone. All our shows are recorded and can be seen on YouTube, as we have mentioned, at the Tuesday Night Live Show 1225. While you're over, check out the Bob and Randall and Company live preview show. We got our own YouTube, and we can use some subscriptions over there if anybody wants to, drop by and throw a few at us. Rex, you want to wish everyone a good night?
Well, first off, I want to say good night, Spangle,
Ah,
because that happens every show. Good night, Spangles. But also, good night, everyone. Thank you for joining us. We love every one of you. And may we wish you that your milk is always cold and your cookies are always warm.
Love that for sure. Okay, Jessica, tell everyone good night. Jessica.
good night, Jessica.
You got it. You nailed it. Fantastic. Hey, Spangle, I feel bad for him. He's had a couple of rough days. So,
Yeah.
but he will not be back next week. Next week, we'll have Scott Seriton on the show. Rex may drop in too if he's got time. We'll have to see what his schedule says. But anyway, remember to join us for our next Tuesday Night Live. each week, 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Same Claus time, same Claus channel. Count your blessings, not your sorrows. Have a blessed week. On behalf of Diane, Spangle, Jessica, Rex, Melissa, Lynn, Randall, Angela, Scott, and myself, I'm Santa Bob McMaster saying good night. And before I sign off, we spent the afternoon at the hospital. Our step grandson has been put into hospice. He's 32 years old. Been tough for the family. Please say a prayer for Spencer and keep my son and our daughter-in-law in your prayers, please.
Yeah.
Okay, so remember, always let your heart, your Claus heart shine bright. Never stop learning. Hope to see you right back here on Tuesday and next Monday for the Bob Randall and Company Live Preview Show. Good night, all.
Night. Thanks.